Mad City has a bunch of heists in the game, but which heist should be added next? It's been 3 years, so we're going to be the game developer in today's video. We're going to be talking about 10 different heist ideas that I have, explaining how I think they could work and the probability of them being added. As well as that, we're going to be ranking them 1 to 10 on how likely they are to be added to the game, and we're going to start with the least likely to be added and ending with the most likely. So let's get into it. So coming in at number 10, we have this, the Swifty building, and specifically an office heist, a Swifty office heist. So when Chapter 2 released, this building was a huge topic and a big talking point in the game. Lots of people speculated that this could be a heist. In the May update, where it kind of changed the map due to optimization, they got rid of that, and this is what it is right now. It's just kind of a bit it's not good. You just go in, there's a Swifty thing, there's some chairs, some tables, there's a desk. You can get the key, the jetpack here, just like you could before, but it's not the same as it used to be. And I think that those rumors about a potential office heist coming into the game that surfaced because of the old Swifty building have now completely gone, which is a big shame because I think there's a lot of potential. It doesn't really work out anymore. I'm going to give it like a 2 out of 10. Now, next up at number 9, we have another building that's actually in the game for a heist. This is this building, the hospital. Now, recently I did 2 community polls asking which heist you want next, and the hospital clearly lost that poll. It lost by far. So people clearly don't want the hospital in the game. I think it's got potential. It could definitely work. We have this building. This building does look big enough. In my opinion, though, it's a little bit inappropriate, you know, stealing, like, well, you can steal organs, like equipment that people use in a hospital. I understand the appeal, but at the same time, I don't think it's a really good idea. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. I think it is a little bit more likely than an office heist, just because of how the office has completely changed as of recent, while this is the hospital stayed pretty much the same. I think it is a little bit more likely, but still not really likely. Now, at number 8, we have a heist that actually a lot of people want in the game, including one of the developers, and I don't understand it. It's this. It's an oil rig. So there is a kind of a construction area around here. This is what I assume the heist location will be at, near the lighthouse, kind of near the club as well. I really don't see it, though, in my opinion. I think kind of the idea is that you'll get kind of oil from around here and maybe use your helicopter's rope. Obviously, helicopters don't have ropes, but they did in Chapter 1, so maybe they would re-add helicopter ropes just for this heist. And I think a cool belief, kind of a cool idea for it, is that you take oil rigs from that construction area and then you drop it off at one of the jewelry warehouses. Now, the reason for this is because these warehouses actually have these roofs here. As you can see, it actually is a little bit of a roof. If we go into the criminal base, you'll see that there's a very similar roof here, and it actually opens when you get close to it in a flying vehicle, and then you can actually go down there, and it's for helicopters. And that kind of roof in the warehouse is actually kind of similar to that. So maybe you could actually grab oil rigs with your rope and drop it off at one of these warehouses. I see the appeal of it, but for a mini heist. I don't think that it is a standalone heist, because like what, when it closes you can't grab the oil rigs, but then when it's open oil cans just spawn. It doesn't make too much sense to me. I think something like a mini heist could be cool. So I think as a mini heist it's like an 8 out of 10. As a standalone heist though, no, I think it's like a 4 out of 10. And now for the next one, it's a submarine. The main reason why I'm against it is because of that you can see in the sky, the plane and the boat that already exists. We already have a boat that goes along the ocean, and we already have a plane that goes in the sky and then crashes into the ocean. I'm not quite sure how a submarine would be able to fit in that, because of course, what if the plane crashes into the submarine? I guess maybe if that happens, then we'll test it in a video. I don't know. I do like the idea though, because Mad City has a lot of oceans. Maybe it could go around the whole ocean, and you gotta get inside of it before maybe it blows up, or maybe it goes away from the island. But considering we already have the boat in the game, I just don't see it that much. It's like a 5 out of 10. It could happen, but I don't think it will. And now next up is another one that a lot of people want to be added. It's an Area 51 heist. I assume they mean that it is a heist in Area 51 regarding aliens or something like that. The Crispy Bacon boss event has ended. It would make sense if they added an Area 51 heist that it would be right here. It would replace the Crispy Bacon building here. Maybe you got to actually go inside of the portal and teleport to the Area 51 area. We do have armor and shield packs here, so why are these in the game if something's just going to be removed immediately? I do think it does make a little bit of sense. Why is this building still here? Could it be used for some sort of heist? I think if it will be, it's got to be for an Area 51 heist, although I don't know what you'll steal. An alien? You're going to kidnap an alien and bring it somewhere? Like, that just doesn't seem right to me. Although I am going to give it a 5.5. I understand lots of people want it and it does make kind of sense, but what would you steal? I don't know. Let me know in the comment section down below, because I'm really not sure. And now we're getting to the big boys. I think that these have a high chance of actually arriving into the game, and coming in at number 5, we have a factory heist. There used to be a factory inside of Chapter 1. It was kind of in the map expansion area, and it was never used, but it did look cool, and it kind of sprouted lots of speculation of people thinking that it could be added into the game. The first thing I'll say though is, where would this go? Where would a factory go inside of Mad City. I don't really see a place for it, to be honest. I think something that already exists in the game would make a lot more sense for the next heist rather than them adding something brand new. But I do like the idea of it, kind of stealing maybe kind of things that you're building in a factory. You steal like potions, you steal kind of like boxes and crates of stuff as well, and you bring it to the criminal base. That could be very cool. If it does end up happening, I think it could be very likely if they just add a factory building into the game, which I just don't see happening. But if that did happen, then I guess it is quite likely. But in terms of right now, it's like a 6 out of 10. It's not very likely. Similarly to a factory, next up we've got a museum. I think a museum could happen in the game, to be honest. It does make a lot of sense. But again, just like the factory, where would it go? Again, like the factory, maybe over here, maybe near the criminal base. But I don't really see a place for it to go. And I do like the idea of it more than a factory, to be fair. You could steal like some dinosaur bones. You could steal kind of artifacts of Mad City's past. Maybe like a cluck bucket. You could steal that. That would be absolutely incredible. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Only kind of main issue with it is where would it go? They'd have to take out some original stuff for it. Top 3 time, third place goes to the Tram. I think the Tram is actually very likely. With the museum and factory, I said that obviously you have to add in something brand new, a brand new building. But with the Tram, we already had it with Chapter 2's launch. They just got rid of it. And the main kind of source of why this is number 3 is because of this post by Gemini that was made over a year ago. So take it with a grain of salt, but he did still say it that they have plans with the Tram. Chapter 2 did release with a Tram heist. It was a mini heist. It was absolutely awful. Everyone hated it and they removed it really quickly. But it did exist in the game. They did have a Tram in Chapter 2. What could also work is maybe an underground system. I've seen a lot of people talk about it, an underground kind of subway system for the Tram. I think that could definitely happen. I think that that is actually quite likely to happen with a kind of underground system if they re-added the Tram. I'm pretty sure they're probably keen to, judging by that message that Gemini said. So yeah, we'll see. I do think it is quite likely though. So yeah, 8 out of 10. I'll go for that. And now for number 2, we have the hotel. I've called it a hotel. And you're probably thinking that I mean this building right here, because on the side of it, it says hotel. I don't exactly mean that. I more mean the resort. So the casino, we all know that the resort is the casino. They just rebranded it because it was like against like gambling content and it got age restricted. This is about the probability of them changing the resort, revamping it entirely so that it isn't the casino. And I honestly think it's very likely. I think they definitely should do this. Will they? I don't know, but I hope that they do it this year, to be honest. I think it is very much needed because this just reminds me way too much of the casino. And I guess that's kind of the whole point of it, but I think it should be a standalone robbery. It makes a lot of sense. I think it's definitely going to happen. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. It should definitely happen in my opinion. If it doesn't, I think it's a really missed opportunity. And now for number 1, is it copium talking? Probably. Is it hopium talking? Absolutely. I don't even care though. The mall. All right, it's gonna happen. I'm convinced. It's going to happen someday. I pray. People have wanted the mall since Mad City's release. Back when Sketch used to make videos. You remember when Sketch used to post Mad City like religiously? He wanted the mall, and his kind of mall perception has passed down to me, I guess, because I really want a mall heist. This giant building looks incredible, and it's not a heist yet. It's an absolute joke. It's not too close to anything else on the map. It looks amazing. We've got statues around here. We've got this giant kind of entrance. It makes so much sense that if they don't do it soon in the next like year, I'm going to be very upset because it just makes so much sense. Why wouldn't you add a mall? I did post on Twitter kind of my idea for a mall when they Mad City tweeted about new heists. You can check it out right there. And you can also check it in the description. I'll leave a link to it so you can read it. We know that prison NPCs are coming to the game, so maybe that idea could be tied into NPCs. I just think it makes a lot of sense. I'm giving it a 10 out of 10, okay? Yes, this is probably biased because I'm the one that wants the mall the most, more than anyone, but I don't care, all right? Mall, please. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying most likely mall, but realistically probably Tram. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so we can hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We are on course to do it, so let's do it as soon as possible. And if you want to check out my previous video reviewing the Obliterator tank, the new tank in the game, it's 5.3 million, which is quite expensive, but in my opinion, it's definitely worth it. Find out my thoughts in that video, and I'll see you there. Thank you so much for watching this video. My name is IdioMD, and as always, peace out.